Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making my predictions for this Saturday night's AEW pay-per-view Full Gear. So we'll start things off on 0 Hour where MJF and a mystery partner will be teaming up to defend the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles against the Guns. I think there's no doubt here that MJF's partner will be Samoa Joe, because this will be kind of MJF having to revert back to how he used to have friends, where he'd have to give them things and pay them to be helping him out and all this stuff. So I think Joe and MJF will be teaming up and defeating the Guns to retain the ROH Tag Team titles. I believe that the MJF title reign with these tag team titles is just a hold up until we get Devilgate figured out to who's the man behind the mask, and I don't think Saturday night's gonna be the night we find it out. So I think Joe helps MJF retain, and then he's either the Winter is Coming match or he's part of some crazy match that could be happening at World's End. Like I saw people mentioning like a triple cage, like something nuts like that, an elimination chamber, that's like some all hell breaking loose match where MJF has to defend his title against multiple people to end the year for AEW. So now on to the pay-per-view portion of the evening. And the first match will be for the AEW International Championship, where Orange Cassidy will put his title on the line against Jon Moxley. I think this is just a redo from All Out, with Mox getting injured afterwards. It's got the title back to Orange Cassidy, and Jon Moxley will be defeating Orange Cassidy just like he did at All Out. With Jon Moxley taking the international title here from Orange Cassidy, I wonder what could be next for Orange. Would he then move up? Could he be part of this crazy multi-man world title match at World's End that I've been dreaming up in my head? Could he be the Winter is Coming match? Like, he had a historic international title reign, then he's had this little one as a holdover till they can get back to the point that they were at before the injuries happened? Or will he be hell-bent on beating Moxley since he hasn't done it yet, and this could be used to get us to another match with them where he's just like, I need to earn another chance at Mox because I need to beat this man? But for the Mox international title reign, this is going to go on for a decent portion of the next year, and I'd like to see Daniel Garcia be the guy to beat Mox and join the Blackpool Combat Club, because as we've seen, the remnants of the JS seems to be on the breakup, and I think Garcia having a crazy match with Mox, beating him, getting a big moment, winning that title, and then joining a group where a lot of people thought he should be for a long time would be the way to go. So now on to our next match, and that'll be a trios match where we'll see Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne take on Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland. So for the first pay-per-view match on the Sting retirement tour, I think him, Darby Allin, and Copeland will be getting the win, defeating Christian's family here. I think Sting's going to just be on a winning path where his matches, any match he's in, he's going to be winning until we get to that last match to where he probably ends up losing to someone, and that's the way he goes out. Maybe it's him versus Darby, or him and Darby win something. Maybe they win the tag titles, who the hell knows. But I think this trios match leads to Christian and Copeland going at it for the TNT title, maybe at World's End, where he puts it away like, hey, I gotta do something to get the guy who I thought I was coming here to tag with back. And I think this starts that train, and we'll see where the roads lead for Wayne and Luchasaurus to see what path Christian Cage takes on his journey down to maybe teaming up with his best friend again. So now on to match number 4 of the evening. And that'll be a tag team match where the Golden Jets of Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho will be taking on the Young Bucks. And if the Young Bucks win, Kenny and Jericho cannot tag again. But if Jericho and Omega win, they will take the Young Bucks tag team title shot. And I believe the Golden Jets will be defeating the Young Bucks, taking that tag team title shot. I just see this as a, we're going to have a Canadian tag team, a little get together with these two, and they're going to get their shot at the Montreal shows. And I see this being used as a more of a wedge between the Bucks and Kenny and Hangman, to where the Elite kind of dissipates and breaks off from each other for a good while before the inevitable. They're looking around in a situation where it's like, wait a minute, why did we break up in the first place? To where we get a Elite reunion and they go on their merry way doing something else way down the line. So now on to match number 5 of the evening, and that'll be a triple threat, a 3-way match for the TBS Championship, where Chris Statlander will be putting her title on the line against Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I believe this match comes down to a mist off between the two challengers, and I think Julia Hart's mist will win out and she'll become the new TBS champion. With the House of Black being a very vital and integral part of Collision being shown more and more and more, I think Julia Hart getting a title just adds to the whole group, and we could potentially see her and Sky Blue team up to create their own female chapter of the House of Black with them two, and then maybe they get Willow in or someone else later down the road. I also think with AEW here has to strike while the iron's hot, where Julia Hart with her entrance, and it just seems she's getting more and more traction online and with people in the building. I think they need to pull the trigger here and have her win and become the new TBS champion. This also puts a new figure into the women's division to where we could see maybe her progress and go for the world title later down the road. So now on to our next match. And that'll be a 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team titles, where Big Bill and Ricky Starks are putting their titles on the line against La Facción Ingobernable, FTR, and the Kings of the Black Throne. I see this match being put more of a, like, everyone splits off into their feud kind of deal, where the House of Black and FTR continue to go at it and kind of take each other out of the equation. And I think it comes down to Big Bill and Ricky Starks are LFI, and I think LFI eats the pin here, and Big Bill and Ricky Starks will be retaining the World Tag Team titles. I see Big Bill and Ricky Starks retaining because, as I stated earlier, with Jericho and Omega getting the tag team title match, Ricky Starks and Jericho mixing it up again, we go back to the beginning of the year with them two. And also, I think Ricky Starks could potentially be moved into this World's End Chaos match in my brain, where MJF's like kind of just going through the ghost of his year past all coming to fruition here. And I also see this as a spot for Ricky Starks to still be in a title picture until a singles title is there for him to take and be put up into that feud and go take the title from whoever that be, whether it be the top title, maybe a TNT International, something like that. But for this pay-per-view, I think him and Big Bill will keep their title reign rolling, and they'll have a match with Jericho and Omega down the road, and I believe in Montreal. So now on to match number 7 of the evening for the AEW Women's World Championship. Hikaru Shida will be putting her title on the line against Timeless Toni Storm. For me, I could see this match going either way, with Shida just starting her reign back up. They keep that rolling, and then this adds to Toni Storm going more and more crazy. But with Mariah May mixed into this now, I could potentially see her popping in to help Toni win somehow, and then they end up having their match where this was the catalyst to where it's like, no, she was helping me this whole time. But in all reality, she was just trying to get close to the champ and someone she thinks she could beat, and then she eventually takes the title from Toni. So as you can tell, my pick here is for Timeless Toni Storm to become the new AEW Women's Champion. I think this will be used for a long-term story in the AEW Women's division. A nice element here to where her and Mariah May will be going through challengers left and right and going through this old-timey stuff to where they keep defeating people till it's all roads lead to maybe Jamie Hayter pops back up, or we have a Toni Storm Mariah May feud for the title, or even when things hit the fan and May maybe doesn't get a crack at the title, to where her and Toni maybe get mad at one another, to where Toni's like, you didn't help me out enough or whatever, but May's like, you couldn't hold on to it on your own without me helping you, and when I wasn't there, you screwed it up for me, and that'll be the catalyst to their eventual feud later down the road. So now on to our co-main event of the evening, a Texas Death Match where we'll see Hangman Adam Page take on Swerve Strickland. With this being a Texas Death Match, I could see maybe Swerve having something up his sleeve to where he wins, but I think if you have a home invasion of some guy's house, the guy whose house was invaded will pull out the win, and I think Hangman Adam Page will defeat Swerve here at Full Gear. While the match would be good if they did do this for a third time at World's End, I would like to see these two kind of separate now, to where it's like, hey, we went to war, I got my stuff back from him, and then this can maybe be used in 6 months, 8 months down the road, and maybe Swerve injects himself into world title picture, or Hangman comes back into the world title picture since it's been a while for him. And I also think Hangman is going to be part of this The Elite breaking up storyline that we could see with the Bucks and Kenny kind of fracturing, to where Hangman's now next, he fractures off, and we'll have to see where he leads with that. And I also think it's good to have this third match in your back pocket to have down the road, because we've seen the first match and that was really good at Wrestle Dream, and I think this match is going to be really good and probably some crazy stuff we're going to see on Saturday night. And I think, hey, the third one, like, hey, let's keep that in the back where people are like, we see these two being away, but eventually they're going to weave back together, and then shit's going to hit the fan again, and we're going to see some more of a great in-match rivalry between these two that'll probably culminate in that third match. So now on to our main event of the evening, the short hype video of the pay-per-view that'll be up tomorrow morning, where we'll see for the AEW World Championship, MJF putting his title on the line against Switchblade Jay White. For the longest time, I thought this match was going to be the end of MJF's title reign. This would be a full pay-per-view run. He won it at Full Gear last year. I was there. I thought he was going to lose it. But with Jay White taking the title and still having it heading into the pay-per-view, I don't think there's a chance of MJF losing. I think he'll be retaining the AEW World Championship and getting the title back in his possession here. For this match to add to the Devil's story, I would like to see Bullet Club Gold, when they go to get involved, that the Devil's henchmen come out to take away Bullet Club Gold, to where it's like, oh, these guys are definitely with MJF now. It just helps them. Like, why? It can't not be anyone else. And maybe, just maybe, we see one of the henchmen get unmasked, and it could be someone where it's like, I think Wardlow being unmasked as a person could be something where it's like, wait, he's mad at MJF, but he's worked with MJF in the past, so maybe it's still MJF. Someone where it kind of doesn't swing it either way, and then MJF uses this to be like, I'm not the leader of this is not mine, I'm not doing this, and then the Devil's kind of works his way into getting Wardlow to be part of this chaos match at World's End for MJF's title, where I think we could have guys like Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Ricky Starks, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, maybe Jay White gets back into this, and maybe some countless others that I just can't think of right now. But I'd like to see that be the match at World's End, where it's like MJF against all the ghosts from his past, where it's like he thinks he's this new person, he's trying to portray he is, but we've seen him dip into his old tendencies, like rewarding Samoa Joe for helping him, and all this stuff like he's done in the past, where he doesn't actually have friends, they're all just there for a reward of some sort. And then World's End comes to where either he retains, he's fended off all these people, and we see who the Devil is, and that is the next feud, which I still think the Devil's Adam Cole. I think that's the way to go. I see other people saying like, oh, it's Jack Perry. I don't think that'll go over too well. Old Uncle Phil's still pretending like he works here, even though I kind of wish he still did, because I'd like Punk to be back here, but we can't be fighting co-workers for real here, pal. Well, if some way somehow they mended the fence without my crazy ass getting involved, good for them, and that'd be a hell of a swerve, bro. But for this Saturday night at the Forum, I believe Maxwell Jacob Friedman will still be your AEW World Champion, and he'll be heading into Long Island to go to defend his title in front of his people against a plethora of challengers. So that'll do it for my predictions for the AEW Full Gear, the 2023 edition. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Tomorrow morning, the hype video short will be coming out for MJF vs. Jay White. Also, Broncos franchise shorts, that'll continue. We're just started season 3 yesterday, so the season 2 highlights will keep going until Sunday, I think, and then season 3 will be out Monday. A little rusty playing too much NCAA, things didn't go too well. But if you like this video, hit the like button. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, want to see more, if you're interested in any of that stuff, subscribe and come back for that. And as always, thanks for watching.